what is e-Rupee and how would it transform the meaning of money? Now with the launch of e-Rupee, we can understand that a lot of things would get simplified. The first important thing is this e-Rupee could be used by anyone who does not have a bank account. So no requirement for having a bank account. Also no requirement for having a smartphone. A normal feature phone could work because this e-Rupee could be sent through SMS or could be scanned through QR code. Now, what is another important idea behind it? There is no need for card, internet banking, digital payment app which is required. It would be directly sent to you through the SMS, and the merchant would read that as SMS, would have the application which would read that SMS and would transfer the required e-Rupees. So this is a definite benefit and a way to promote digitization of electronic currency. Another important thing is 1 rupee would be equal to 1 e-Rupee. Now therefore this e-Rupee has an advantage over cryptocurrencies. Another thing is it is safe, easy to use, secure, very fast, reliable, and is also person and purpose specific as of now. What do we mean by that? For example, government gives you e-Rupee for fertilizer, right? You are getting fertilizer benefit of, let's say, 1000 rupees for this e-Rupee, and that 1000 rupees fertilizer benefit would be given to you neither in cash nor in bank account but through e-Rupee. What does that mean? We'll understand in a while. So the sponsor, which is government in this case, would say that okay, give this person 1000 rupee. So a voucher would be created going to the NCPI. NCPI would create that voucher and send it to the individual. So directly from the NCPI, the individual will receive that voucher. The individual would go to the place where they can avail the fertilizer. They would show the voucher, that would be either the SMS or the QR code, and that SMS or QR code would represent that okay, this person is eligible for rupees 1000 deduction in fertilizer through this e-Rupee. So the beneficiary would receive a verification code and finally the payment would be successful, and the person would, if the fertilizer costs 1000 rupees, the person would have to pay nothing and would get the fertilizers worth 1000. If the cost of the fertilizer was, let's say, 2000, then the remaining amount would be deducted from the e-Rupee. So that's how this e-Rupee would work. But the main idea is it is person specific. So if it is generated in my name, it would be utilized only by me. If it is generated in your name, it would be utilized only by you. Another important idea is it is purpose specific. So if it is given for scholarships, for medical, for fertilizers, for subsidies, it would be utilized only specifically for that purpose. So who are the playing partners? NPCI, the National Payment Corporation of India, then Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for providing various amenities, subsidies, Department of Financial Services, National Health Authority for medical aid, medical facilities, and the related partner banks for the same. Again, as I mentioned, it is a contactless process. So again, a very utilized or very useful process. Maximum amount which could be transferred is 1 lakh rupee through the e-Rupee voucher which can be generated by the government. For the private, it is 10,000 as the limit as of now. Probably in the future, it could be enhanced. Now this is digitally verified. Another important aspect that there is a digital validation for the e-certificate or the e-Rupee which is generated, and the maximum validity can be only 1 year. So this would provide an end-to-end digital contactless direct solution for all kind of purpose specific amenities that could be provided, and the redemption process would be made simpler by reducing the requirement for owning a bank account, by reducing the requirement for having a smartphone, for having internet banking or digital payment apps, right? Now NPCI, which is the National Payment Corporation of India, is the owner, network operator as well as the service provider in this case, and all the coordinators of UPI network would be working in line with the NPCI guidelines. So what benefit it owes to the corporates? Now corporates can focus on the well-being of the employees. So if they want certain proportion to go only for medical, they can generate e-Rupee only for that medical facility. This would be an end-to-end digital transaction, and therefore no physical issuance. Reduction of that burden would be there. Voucher could be redeemed by tracking. Okay, so it ensures that the amount goes in the right hand to the right person and is utilized for right task. It's not that I am availing the subsidy for fertilizer, but I am using it somewhere else. So that means it would be tracked end to end, and that's why it becomes more digitally significant and more transparent mechanism for providing government assistance. As I mentioned previously, it is quick, safe and contactless. What is the benefit for the merchant? Merchant would verify it through a verification code. It would be hassle free. There would be no requirement for collection of the payment, providing change amount. So no cash, no card requirement, and therefore this process becomes quicker, and also there is a lesser decline for the lesser chances for decline in this process. What would be the benefit for the customers? Benefit for the customers would be customers don't need to carry a printout of anything. They can just take their phone and move with it. It's simply a two-step redemption. You show your phone, you use the SMS or the QR code and receive a verification confirmation, and your payment is successful. So it's safe and secure, and there is no need to own a bank account. So no bank charges, no hidden charges, and therefore becomes much more systematic. So any goods and services that you require through the government would be distributed through it. As I mentioned, availing benefits from medical aspects or government scholarships for students, fertilizer subsidy, cash input subsidy, housing subsidy, tax benefits, service benefits could all be provided through e-Rupee. So definitely a new revolution and a change that would probably down the lane bring a drastic revolution in our existing digital banking system. Thanks for joining in. We'll be covering many more important topics in GS. Stay tuned.